When you start with Spotfire, you can create an analysis using the web-based business author or using the desktop analyst client. The analyst client has more functionality, so we'll start there. Outside of Spotfire, I have this spreadsheet on New York City crime data showing incident types, date, level of offense, and other metrics. I'll add this to my analysis by going to the plus icon, then choosing Browse Local File. I'm immediately shown an import window where I can select the sheet from within the Excel file and see the columns and rows of data. I can change the data type, change the name of the columns, and turn on and off columns for import. Once I hit OK, I can then rename my imported table if I'd like. Now that my data is ready, I see three options to start. Starting from data opens a data panel, starting from visualizations opens a visualization panel, and explore by searching shows my search bar. I'll start from data. When I select a column name, the Spotfire AI recommendation engine is hard at work detecting patterns in my data and determining good ways to represent it. By selecting date, it suggests a line chart showing the number of incidents over time. I can select more to see further recommendations related to this. I can also use a control key on my keyboard to select an additional column to be considered, like level of crime offense. Here I see Spotfire showing 3 lines for each level of offense and how they trend over time. I'll select this chart. Another way I can find recommendations is through search. If I enter level versus date, I see the same line chart recommended. I'll enter just level and grab a bar chart for the number of incidents per level. Next, I'll go to the visualizations panel and add a map visualization. Spotfire automatically recognized the longitude and latitude points and plotted them for me for each crime incident. I can grab visualizations by the title bar and rearrange them on my page. In the legend, I see options for how data in the chart is colored, and by clicking the drop-down, I see all the columns in my data set. I'll choose level to color each bar accordingly. Another way to do this is from the data panel, where I can select a column, drag it over a chart, and drop it on a setting. I'll drop level on the color setting in my map chart to color each point depending on if the crime is a felony, misdemeanor, or violation. In my map legend, I see an option for shape, which I'll also make level, so now each incident has a unique shape and color depending on criminal offense level. Next, I'll show creating a drill down. In my bar chart, I will right-click and select Create Details Visualization, and then choose another bar chart. This makes the original bar chart the master visualization and the new chart depending on the master. The new chart only shows data depending on my selection in the master chart. If I go to the axes and select the axis name, I can change it to another column in my dataset. I'll choose the description column. Now as I select data in the master visualization, I can see how all data in selected crime level is broken down into the crime description below. Next, I'll right-click my new bar chart and choose horizontal bars so I can better read the axis labels. When I select multiple bars in the master bar chart, the description bar chart shows the data stacked accordingly. I can right-click for options like side by side if I'd like, and also right-click to add a zoom slider if needed. Right-clicking any chart and going to Visualization Properties shows a wealth of detailed options for configuring aspects of chart behavior. In the data options, I see an option for choosing the chart behavior when no data is selected in the master visualization. I choose Show All Data here. Now my description bar chart shows the breakdown of all crimes by description and color by level, but when I select a bar in the master visualization, it drills down to only the relevant data. Next, I'll add another data set from a text file which has my store locations. This shows me the same import dialog. When I go to the data panel, I see an option for switching between these two data sets. By going to the data canvas, I can see the workflow for each of these data sets. Note that these two data sets are separate, and while there's ways to merge them together through add columns and add rows, it won't be covered in this video. I can also add transformations to the data as well for calculations and wrangling, but that's also covered in another video. In my data panel, I'll go to my store locations dataset and select the city column, which I'll then drag to my map and add as a new marker layer. Spotfire automatically adds these points again. I'll choose to make these stores pink stars so they stand out, and then I'll adjust some sizing of the points. The top right has a funnel icon for filters where I can restrict data shown in the analysis. Here I turn on and off different boroughs. For better access to common filters, I'll add a text area from the visualizations panel. Right-clicking and going to Edit Text Area, I'll type a page title and add a button. I'll name this button Reset and choose some actions I want the button to perform, like resetting all markings and resetting all filters. Hitting the Save icon shows me my results. Below this, I'll add a filter as well for date by using the Add Filter icon and selecting the Date column. I can resize this as well. Now I have a filter directly on my page. Next, I'll do some final tidying up by resizing some of the visualizations and editing some titles. For a couple visualizations, I'll turn off the title bar completely by going to Properties and unchecking Show Title Bar. When I'm done with this page, I can add a new page and start again.